Yo, apart from bro when I ain't had bread, me I didn't hear from no one. I span that block on my pedal bike, and I didn't see no one. I was linking fucks and dogging them out and hanging up cars like hold on. Kinda weird, I missed that life, right, but it feels so wrong.
Yes boys, finally back again with another vlog. It's been about 3 months now since I've done another vlog, and in today's video we've got a Sunday routine. So what I'm going to be going through in today's video is just typically what I get up to on a Sunday here in Dubai, and kind of how I set up my week for success. So in my opinion, at least, Sunday is one of the most important days, just to audit your last week, reflect on it, reflect on the things that went well, reflect on what you want to do more of, reflect on if you had that week for the whole of the year, if that would be a successful year, and then put the things in place for the week going forward. So I'm currently just heading now to a beach club and a gym, which I want to spend the day at. Typically I usually just go to a gym and then recovery with sauna, cold plunge, sauna, cold plunge, but I decided to switch it up today, and yeah, I'll take you boys with me. Can't lie, I haven't been to a beach club now in like 2 months. The guys who come to Dubai in the summer, I don't know what they're doing, trying to be smart. The guys who come here June, July, August, September for a holiday, I think it's nice because it's half the price or a quarter of the price as it is in normal times. Bro, this is too fucking hot. Literally, I heard last time I came here, Palm, the sea was nice, refreshing. It was still like 30-40 degrees. Come back here now, the sea is absolutely boiling. I'm literally fucking dripping in sweat. Everything is unpleasant. And it's funny because I was speaking with my boy Tom yesterday. You were looking at just hotel suites to stay on for the weekend. And even the guys who've been to Dubai know address, like the best best hotel here. Look down. It's just a bird, bro. It's just a bird. The best hotels here, literally. So we were looking at the prices for suites. It's literally £400 a night. For $500, you can get a presidential suite. So it all makes sense. All the guys who come to Dubai in the summer get a suite or get a nice hotel. Literally quarter of the price as it is in the winter. So yeah, boys, if you plan to come to Dubai, definitely don't come in the summer. Don't save a few K just to fucking flex on Instagram. But actually wait till the weather's good and then enjoy it. I mean, it's still nice. Show you guys a view. Obviously still nice, don't get me wrong. Better than, I wouldn't say better than UK in summer, but better than wherever most people are from. But yeah, I mean, I plan to go a few days now, go back to either Italy or Croatia with my team, canteen trip, and enjoy a bit of time there. But all right, just finished having some lunch, best meal of the day. I think it's about 3:30 now. And what I wanted to start to do in these vlogs is incorporate a bit more kind of value, because I do the sit down videos a lot at my desk in my apartment, which are fucking packed with a shit ton of value, especially obviously if you run an FM agency. And I can put one of them above here. You can click on them either if you're not at 100k a month and you want to get to 100k a month, or other kind of specific problems that us agency owners go through. But yeah, what I wanted to start doing is just more incorporating some value in my vlogs. I got this question from someone on IG in my DMs that was asking about how important is your environment for success, and it got me thinking, because I think by far it's one of the most important things. And I know everyone watching this is fucking bored of all the people saying you need to move to Dubai, you need to move to a big city, blah 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 blah. But I wanted to touch more kind of on like what your actual environment is and how you set it up for success. Because at the end of the day, you could live anywhere. So like I've lived before in Manchester, I've lived in London, I've lived in Marbella, I lived previously in Dubai. I've lived in a lot of these cities, and one of the main things, it doesn't actually matter, provided you don't set your environment up properly. So what do I mean by this? So when it comes to your environment, first of all, obviously where you are actually living. So your apartment, in my apartment, how I have things set up is we have a whole separate room, which is my office. And when I go into that room, I am just working. My living room, there's no desk, no nothing. When I'm in my living room, I'm chilling. Or when I'm in my bedroom, I'm sleeping. I'm not mixing the three. So there are a bunch of guys who put their desk in their living room, their bedroom, and what happens is you're literally mixing your desk with your bedroom, your desk with your living room, where you sleep and where you're working, and you can't just think clearly. So that's the main thing. The next thing is really being in an environment where you're constantly around different people and meeting kind of people that are on a level that you want to get to. And it's something that I've set up. So in terms of my week, in terms of Monday to Friday, every single week, I'm locked in basically. I'm working from about 9, 10 a.m. to about 8, 9 p.m. give or take. And then I go gym and kind of end in my day there. But every weekend, this has been now for about 4, 5 months. On the weekend, I always schedule in either meeting another agency owner, someone in a different niche or in a different industry that are killing it. So what I've set my life up to do is on a Saturday, on a Sunday, what I used to do, and this is why, like, again, coming here, obviously I'll pan the camera around, you guys can see. Coming to beach club or whatnot, most of the time you're English, so you bullshit, blah, 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 blah. Instead, what I focus on is just how do I incorporate, you call it networking, just meeting other people. How do you incorporate that EU routine? Simple fix is every weekend I'll go gym. What do I do? Whoever I want to meet, or the list for people I want to meet, people that I speak to on Instagram, etc., etc., etc. I literally just arrange it in my gym session. Usually I'll go to gym, then go sauna, then go cold plunge, and sauna cold plunge. And I basically just schedule it in my session normally. So one, it's not taking up all my time. I'm not having to go out of my way to do this, do that, ruin my routine. And two, I'm doing what I want to do, which is or network, just meet people, fucking have normal conversations as normal people do. You don't always have to try to get some bad, and they're just seeing new things that I can obviously implement into my agency. And it's a very simple thing, but because I've stuck to it for months and months and months, I've gone from meeting agencies doing some doing like 50k, 100k a month to some doing 300-400k a month, exchanging similar ideas, similar things that we're working on, similar things that I'm able to implement in my own agency, vice versa. And because of the consistency of it, over time, I'm slowly seeing the benefits of, oh shit, this is the thing that we talked about maybe 3 months ago. Now I'm actually seeing the benefits actively in my revenue or in my actual business. And it's very interesting because even like literally yesterday, I was with my boys and again met up with another few people in other offers in trading, making 400-500k a month. And it's very interesting because, like, obviously you can get this in kind of Dubai, London, Miami, I think those are the main 3 cities. But if you're not like in that environment where you're constantly around other people killing it in different fields, your field, whatever, you're always at a disadvantage because at the end of the day, you're not getting the same amount of information, or you're not hearing the same conversations or learning new things constantly. And one of the things I said, like at the start of this year, was what is one of the most important things when it comes to growing in your business or growing in general? The main thing is learning through through books, reading, podcasts, networking, mentorships, masterminds, courses, and actually dedicated learning new information. I'll touch the information a bit more because essentially, and again, for myself, every one of us has been through this kind of journey where you get to a certain amount of profit a month, usually it's about 30 to 50k profit. Pretty much your life becomes easy. And the problem is that what then happens is your ego kicks in, and all of a sudden you think you know everything, and you just start getting comfortable and coasting. And it's not conscious, it's actually more unconscious, where you don't actually realize that you are coasted. Maybe you're drinking more, gambling a bit too much, going out too much, not really focused on scaling and getting to the next level. And the issue isn't really working harder, because I think to get to that point, it is just really about how hard you work. But after a certain amount of hard work, it more boils down to you don't have the information to get to that next level. And what held me back from the longest, and again, like, everyone knows me that I'm completely honest about everything, and this was throughout last year and 2023, was that my ego thinking I know everything, being not around people that are doing so much better than me, that I'm like, what do I need to learn? In the same way that got me to that income is the same way it's going to get me to the next point. And it's very telling, because again, it all boils down to, what do you actually know, and do you have the right information at your disposal? Because again, if it was as easy as working harder, if it was as easy as just hire this person, do this and do that, everyone would fucking do it. And from realizing that, dropping my ego, realizing, oh shit, I have so much room for that, that's when I've seen the most great. Approaching things with a different thought process, approaching things with a different way of solving a problem, approaching things with a different way of getting to a solution, setting a system up, hiring the right person, improving the process. All these little things over time add and build up, build up, and build up. And in terms of the agency, in terms of what we really focused on the last few months, every single month we've had weeks since understanding this. And this was towards the back of the budget series start with this year. Really understanding is, what is my actual role in my agency? What is my role? If I'm CEO, COO, just a founder, like, what is my role, and how do I get the best and hit the goals that I set? And again, as you scale, you remove less, or it's just you and trying to get traffic or managing a chat team. Trying to sign models yourself, and the more you scale, the more models you take on, the more team members you hire, the managers you put in place, you realize that you have to elevate, and you have to elevate your way of operating, and really focusing on how do you become, if you're an agency, and obviously watching this, if you're a model or something, it's less applicable, but even in your own business, is how are you the most effective CEO, or how do you hire the best people? How do you build the right culture? How do you build the best systems? How do you have clear ownership of the success? Because obviously, if it's not just you running the ship, it's not just you doing everything, it's your team, and it's focusing on your team, and a lot of stuff. Like, I've gone through some countless of hours of boring business stuff, but it's the stuff that really matters, versus a new OFM strategy. Reels are running, trial reels, this, Reddit, Twitter, whatever the fucking strategy is. All these things are going to come and go. The main thing is that, how good are you at actually operating a business? How good are you? Sorry, it's bugging out a bit. How good are you as a leader? How good are you at signing the best clients? How good are you at delivering traffic? And focusing on those key things is where you're really going to see the growth in your agency. And yeah, that's just a bit of value for you boys, or the does on the top of my head. But literally just walking now. Don't want to go here.
What the door?
See Atlantis there. Been a few times, but I think it's a bit overrated. A lot of the guys that come here on holiday love to talk about it, but in terms of hotels to stay, or just in general, there's a fucking shit, a bunch more better ones in Dubai. But yeah, I want to keep them a bit low key, so just reserve here with my boys. Yeah, I think it is a bit too fucking hot now. Gonna head inside now. Go to probably a spa, go to sauna. Show you boys a view of the kind of the villas here as well. You should do it. Try zoom in. I'm distant. It's too slow. Yeah, each of them villas there, easily 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil. It's crazy how much fucking money there is here. That's it. Yeah, I'll catch you boys as I get to the sauna. Just got finished up in the gym now. Just got a towel, some of shit. Gonna go in the sauna, do a usual session. Typically do 2 times, so I go sauna about 20-30 minutes. Cold shower, cold plunge, depending where I'm at. Go back in the sauna about 15 minutes and then repeat the cycle. I'm doing this now literally about 4 months and been fucking brilliant every Sunday. Proper reset the mind, get me in the kind of same kind of state, keep me kind of chill, have my thoughts be clear and really prepare myself for the week ahead. So catch you boys there. Right, the camera is going to be a bit fucked in here, so I'll catch you boys when I'm out of the sauna. Just got fully done now with the sauna. Done a quick sauna, cold shower, sauna, cold shower. But yeah, just came to the lobby now. Gonna get a bit of work done. Got a little double espresso, feeling a little bit tired, but yeah, I've got scheduled in now for like the next 30 minutes, kind of reviewing my last week, planning a lot of specific things and kind of auditing my last week. And when I get home, I'll show you guys exactly what framework I use and what process I kind of go through. But I'll get started on that now and I'll catch you boys later.
Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. And niggas trying to take my life away. I put a hole in a nigga for fucking.
Yes boys, just got back home now. Back in the city. On the view, the camera's already steaming up. Clean the camera. You got the canal, and you've obviously got Burge up there. This camera's steaming up again. This is the thing boys, in the summer, everything is steaming up. The humidity here is fucking peak. But just got back now. Last slip on doing a bit of work. Kind of getting my week ready. Gone through most of the things that I needed to kind of get done going into the week. But yeah, I'm gonna run you boys through exactly how I set up my week to ensure that my week's a success, and how also you guys can do the same. So let me set the camera up. So the process that I go through pretty much now every Sunday evening is essentially, first thing I do is just have a look back at my week's calendar. So I'll go through each day, go through what I spent my time on, write down things that I've already written down in my notes or written down on my journal. Things that I maybe spent too much time on, could have been delegated, could have been automated, where I wasted time, things that I knew I need to like backlog projects and backlog tasks, things that I put in the kind of back burner. So first thing I do is kind of go through how my week was, how good was it, kind of just going through where I spent my time. So again, obviously all the things are confidential to me, I won't be sharing it in the stream, but essentially I've already done this now. But once I've gone through where I spent my time, essentially the process I do from there is basically I get a Google Doc out, I have specific questions which I answer, which essentially are a framework that let me know was my week a good week? So what was the bottlenecks this week? What were the main things that slowed down progression this week? What are the proposed solutions? What are the solutions in place? Who is responsible for those solutions? So whether it's me, whether it's someone else, a manager in the agency, whether it's a specific employee, whoever is responsible for it, when do I have to check back in on that thing? And when is the deadline on that specific thing? So that's the kind of framework that I go through in terms of specific solutions in place or systems in place. But in terms of how I set up my week, essentially, I go through everything. So I get my questions down, I give my answers. The main kind of premise for the questions is really questions to kind of make you think. I mean, I can literally pull up a Google Doc now. I go on Docs. It's really just questions to make you think. So, for example, what were the main rank this week? Then essentially I work out a ranking. So basically ranking how good was this week, whether I was myself insanely productive, whether the work I done was needle moving to the business, and what was the growth in terms of revenue, in terms of progress, in terms of our project, in the actual agency. And whatever score I give, and typically I actually put this on ChatGPT, and basically I prompt ChatGPT to be a CEO coach and essentially tell me what basically rank me and rank the week with all my answers. And once I get a ranking, let's say it's a, I don't know, 7.3 out of 10, just say 7 out of 10. Then I ask myself, what would make this a 10? So if it's
under 6, I mean, what would make this an 8 out of 10? If it's 7, 8 or 9, what would make this a 10 out of 10 week? And the biggest thing with this is that if you actually are honest about it, then you can start spotting the things that you are spending too much time on, should be delegating, shouldn't spend your time on, things that you should focus on. And it's really more to get your thought process going. And the reason why I keep it simple is because I used to actually have a bunch of questions. It would take me a shit ton of time to fill out. And what actually happens is you tend to just overlook things when you really just want to get your brain working. And kind of once you get into kind of flow state where you're answering the questions, you're thinking, you're auditing about your week, then you end up with a shit ton of actionables. And it's extremely important, especially when it comes to growing your agency and focusing your time on the right things, on where the fuck you're spending your time as a CEO. Again, if you're watching this video, you have to break down your agency and see what are you spending too much time on. Because, for example, if you're spending all your time on, God knows, maybe your sales team, maybe on thinking of Instagram ideas, posting on Reddit, or a specific thing inside the business that you're focusing so hard on to fix, the reality is that you're shutting off signing new clients, signing six-figure potential clients, gaining more traffic, setting up your traffic source or systemizing your traffic so that you can run it across all models in your agency. And if you're not actually focused on the right thing, and it's very difficult because, again, like if you're watching this, you could be making 30k profit a month, 50k, 100k even, and you might not be putting your time on what is actually going to get you to that next level. Because when it comes to hitting certain income levels, is if you're not continuously growing, eventually it either gets boring, you get complacent, you get pissed off that you're not growing at the rate that you used to be. So it's simply a case of, are you solving the right problems, and are you solving the problems that unlock you to get to that next level? And again, there's two processes. Obviously identifying the right problem. The second thing is actually taking action and solving it. If you get either one of these two things wrong, then it doesn't matter, and you're just banging your head against the ceiling. For example, if you identify your problem is you need to, I don't know, be better at chatting or run different traffic sources for your models or launch 100 Instagram accounts. Let's say you identify you need to get more traffic, shit, we need to launch 100 Instagram accounts, and that's your identification of the problem. You can execute all you want on it, and the reality is that if your content isn't good enough in the first place and your content needs more work, you haven't solved the problem. So you can spend the next 2 months launching hundreds of Instagram accounts, trying to go viral, having a few things go viral, and you still won't get to 200, 300 paid subs a day, which is very achievable once you actually understand content. And we are creators that are consistently doing 200, 250, 300 paid subs a day just because we understand content and we put our focus on getting good at content. And the second part is obviously execution, is that you can be a great problem identifier and a problem solver, but if you don't see it too what success looks like, which what that means is you can put all this work into, I don't know, setting up a new traffic source, systemizing your agency, doing this or doing that, but what do you have to show for it? Has the outcome been achieved? Have you actually either removed yourself from the day-to-day, unlocked 100, 200, 300 paid sub days, consistently done it, maintained it? If you haven't, it's still not done yet and success isn't achieved. And you have to see it through. Set up a system, set up a process, set up an SOP, delegate it to someone that you can trust, learn the process of delegation, and then move on to the next thing and the next thing. And it's just a cycle of problem solving. And the bigger problems you solve, the more leverage you unlock in your agency. And I said this on another video, which I can probably put up here, is that as an OnlyFans agency, if you want to get to 6 figures a month, there is really two main things that you need to unlock or focus on solving. Number one is, how do I sign the best possible clients? The best agencies work with the best clients. So you need to focus on high quality clients, because if you sign a 6-figure potential model, the chances are that you're going to go viral, get good content, have success on Instagram is far, far higher than if you're working with a model from South America, Eastern Europe, or a tier 3 or tier 2 country that doesn't speak English and isn't good at filming and has a bad phone and all these things. You want to focus on high quality talent. The second thing is doing your job and delivering traffic. the one thing that differentiates every agency is how good are you at delivering traffic consistently. So you want to focus all your time on these two things, and really obviously on delivering traffic. And by far, that is the main problem I hear from most OnlyFans agencies and most agencies that are doing anywhere from 50 to 200k a month, is that they want to solve and unlock more traffic. And that's the main thing that I focus on with the guys that I coach myself. So I do group coaching where every Monday we have a call going through specific problems and bottlenecks, specifically in systemizing your agency, unlocking more traffic, and signing high quality models, and then obviously chatting, scaling, and other things like that. But if you're more interested in that, you can drop me a DM on Instagram as well. On my Instagram, I do show a bit of behind the scenes as well of my agency, on my close friend story. So if you want to see more, you can just check in the description there. But by far, when it comes to setting up your week, as long as you are auditing yourself, because the reality is that you will always be the biggest bottleneck in your agency until you're at a certain point where responsibility is somewhat removed, and realistically it's never going to be if you're the founder. You have to identify where you're holding the agency back, and the more you do that, the more you try to improve, the more you get feedback from your team, from your managers, from your executives, the more you're able to take action on these improvements. And that is the main thing that has unlocked multiple amounts of revenue for us. So yeah, if you're not doing that already, I would 100% recommend to introduce this into your Sunday routine. I mean, speaking from experience, I used to do fuck all on a Sunday routine in terms of how I set up my week. I not plan out my week, I'm not plan out my hours, my tasks, my projects, and I go into Monday clueless. And especially, like, another little tip when it comes to waking up in the morning and getting shit done, everyone obsesses over a morning routine, blah blah blah. The most simple morning routine is plan out your day every night before, or if you can on a Sunday, a week in advance. What is every 30-minute block of work going to entail? What are you going to focus on? What are you going to get done? And the emphasis is on the 30 minutes, because I used to do it with hour blocks or 2-hour blocks, and the reality is that easy stuff that you can get done in 15 or 20 or 30 minutes, you just drag it out, procrastinate, get distracted if you were to put in an hour or 2 hours. So you want to be strict with your time. But yeah, I hope you boys got some kind of value when it comes to a weekly routine just to set up your week for success. And if you get any results, if you find it kind of actionable or valuable, just drop me a DM below and give me some feedback. Let me show you boys Bluey again. I think it's literally been like 3 months since I last showed the little cat. Growing a shit ton. He used to have blue eyes. We named him. We didn't know that cats get their eye colour changes when they get to an adult. Let me just clean the camera. But yeah, he's bare cute. It's funny now how I'm telling all my boys to get cats, because it's the hardest thing ever, especially if you're working from home. And now a bunch of all the OFM guys have now got cats, and everyone went from hating cats on Twitter to now all loving cats. But yeah, I hope you boys enjoy this style of content. If you have feedback or ways I can kind of improve this style of content, just let me know in my Instagram or in the comments below. Hope you boys got some value from this, and I'll catch you boys next week in the next video.